When Flatout VR Studios announced a native Flatout VR port, I was both surprised and excited, as this is a genre that is desperately needed in VR. So after the last 2 weeks, I've been blown away by the absolute chaos and destruction in the racing, combat and stunt modes, which all provide plenty of variety in gameplay. The recent major update has also significantly improved the game, which this review is based off. The environmental destruction is incredibly satisfying as every piece of debris reacts realistically to impact. When you see a storm of cars in front of you speeding headfirst into wooden houses, fences, trees and barrels, it feels truly chaotic and even cinematic, as everything gets completely obliterated with flying debris in every direction. You're also encouraged to destroy the environment as it builds up your nitro meter, which makes your car a lot more effective when going on the offensive. So boosting into and shunting other cars off the road is not only fun but is also rewarded. All the cars and environmental destruction react realistically thanks to the physics engine. So to see every piece of debris in 3D VR is so much more immersive than on a flat screen, because you can see the depth and distance of every single object fly past your windscreen, whereas viewing this on a flat screen really can't convey the scale of the destruction and immersion. Flatout VR Studios did a great job implementing 4 different control methods. The motion controller joysticks and triggers can be used just like a normal gamepad, or you can turn on the motion controller steering to simulate holding a virtual steering wheel with the controllers. The new update also added steering wheel support for most wheels, although some are still being tweaked. Lastly, you can even use a gamepad, which is a lot more comfortable and easier to use than motion controllers. What surprised me most is that my gamepad worked instantly without any setup or configuration. You can control everything with your gamepad the moment you launch the game. Controller support isn't limited to just Xbox and DualShock controllers, as I'm using the Gulikit KK3 Max, which works flawlessly in the game. The meat of the game is the main campaign, which has multiple short tournaments consisting of standard races, time trials, destruction derby deathmatches, and even combat racing. You start off with your usual derby cars, but soon upgrade to more standard and even reinforced battle-ready cars, such as SUVs and trucks. The first set of derby cars have really poor handling, which are quite unresponsive, but once I unlocked the standard cars with much better handling, the game really became a lot more enjoyable. Unfortunately, this meant the first few hours felt like a bit of a grind, as the poor handling and traction makes the game much harder with the rough terrain. However, you can also unlock more cars early by completing the Flatout challenges. The Destruction Derby Simulator mode is just a pure deathmatch arena where you smash into other cars until everyone is completely wrecked. These can either be fun or frustrating depending on the arenas. The flat square maps keep you a little too boxed in, but the more open round bowls allow you to keep moving and evade incoming traffic, which is a lot more fun. The combat races also turn the game into Mario Kart by adding weapons such as projectiles and bombs. This is a genre I'm usually a huge fan of, but I found this mode to be a little frustrating. Because of the poor handling of the cars, you have little to no time to react to sudden incoming fire and barricades that suddenly appear out of nowhere. What? There's also zero warning or indicators of incoming fire, unlike most kart races, which usually give you a chance to either evade or counter. And because the graphics are so detailed, it is very hard to spot bombs on the road, which sometimes completely blend into the environment. I end up usually trying to avoid everyone, as there's just way too many attacks from every direction, especially if multiple cars decide to attack you one after the other. What? These combat races usually drag my ranking down in each cup. Fortunately, these only appear sometimes, so it's not a big part of the game. The cash earned from winning races, causing destruction and destroying other cars can be used to upgrade your vehicle, such as the speed, acceleration, nitrous, and of course improved grip and handling, which is most important as traction is crucial. Upgrading the chassis is also important for not only shunting other cars, but keeping yours from getting wiped out. Lastly, the Flatout challenges consist of a range of stunt events and race challenges, such as ejecting your driver to destroy obstacles, a bit like Angry Birds. but some of these felt like a bit of a chore to me and were more of a break from the campaign. I really only played this to unlock new cars. A lot of early reviews also complained about severe performance issues, which is the main reason I held off posting this review until now. But I'm relieved to say that the latest major update completely fixed all the issues. My performance is now completely flawless with a solid frame rate even with DLSS off. After the update, it suddenly feels like a completely different game, which I'm enjoying a lot more now. DLSS does significantly improve performance, but it also looks quite blurry, so I would recommend increasing the sharpness and resolution to compensate. My only real gripe is the impact detection from the debris. Most of the time it simply bounces off or under the car, but sometimes small objects can randomly throw your car off the road, which is quite unpredictable. As this game is mostly off-road with lots of rugged terrain, it's important to maintain traction as much as possible to compensate for the poor handling. Because if you lose traction on a rough turn, a small mistake can send you flying off the track. So sometimes random debris can be really dangerous. This was a common complaint in the 2017 Flat game, and it's unfortunately something we still have to deal with. If you're a fan of this genre, or even racing games in general, I can easily recommend it, as there just aren't any native destruction derby games in VR. The graphics are incredibly detailed, which makes the destruction and chaos so much better to experience in VR. The devs are also very responsive to feedback and have been working constantly since launch. And after the recent major update, it shows, as they fixed a lot of major bugs. However, they've also said the price will increase as the game develops, so I would keep that in mind if you're waiting for a sale. The game is currently $20 on Steam, which is quite a fair price considering the amount of modes and content. If you found this review helpful, feel free to leave a like and let me know if there are any other similar games like this that you'd recommend. So hit subscribe if you want to see more of these, and I'll see you in the next.
Calm down, calm down, calm down, calm down, calm down!